Okay, Coach. Tough early schedule. Played some of the top ranked opponents, both nationally and in the region.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Things you've learned from that experience early on.
Yeah. Well, we knew going into it was going to be a tough start. I mean, they're definitely the top three, if not looking at Wayne State for our next match, the top four teams we start off right off the bat. So we knew we were going to be in for a struggle. Um, but we also gained a lot of confidence from our first match playing Ferris and felt like we had made some big strides even just since the spring. And so it was, I felt like a good start for us. And, going into the last two matches, the last two against Northwood and Grand Valley, the competition level was, even higher. And it stretched us. And I think we were trying to go in with the right strategy of trying to, you know, pressure them in doubles more than they were expecting and see what we could get out of that. And, we didn't get the wins in doubles against Northwood. We were able to pull one off against Grand Valley just really through determination. We were down 6-1, and Megan and Jasmine came back and won 9-7. So that was a huge morale booster for our team. And Grand Valley was strong, through their singles matches. So it was tough for us to kind of carry that into singles. But, we got a really good performance throughout the day from Jasmine. And I think she was looking for her first singles win. And I think it felt good for her to finally kind of get over that hump, and will give her some confidence going into her next match. And I think for her and Megan, who are a new team together, they've had some pretty good wins against top teams in the GLIAC. They're 2-1 now together, and I feel like that's going to just keeps building confidence for them, so that as we continue to face tough teams, especially at the top of every team will probably be fairly strong. It will help them, just stay focused and ready for every match that way. So, yeah, tough start, but we definitely have learned what we need to continue to work on, because we're not done with the tough schedule yet.
What type of things or exercises in practice, or even during a match, do you and Coach Woody, try to relate to the girls, either both physically or even mentally?
Mm-hmm. I think there's some of both. I think in practice we try to focus on, especially in doubles, just positioning, some strategy, kind of being aware of what your opponent's weaknesses and strengths are. If there's a weaker player on the other team, knowing how to capitalize on that, and positioning has had a big part. I think just kind of understanding the game of doubles, because a lot of these players who come in are mainly singles players coming into college tennis. And so it's tough for them to make that transition to realize it's not just two singles players out there. It's got to be a completely different thing, and you become kind of a one unit as a team. So we're working more on the cohesiveness of our teams in practice. And then as far as singles goes, it's being more patient. I mean, I think that when you go in knowing you're playing some of the toughest teams, you feel like you need to do something. You kind of pressure yourself to do too much too soon, rather than being patient and really kind of analyzing the situation a little more, so that it's not just kind of a panic mode. It's more like, all right, this girl is beatable. She can have a good day or a bad day. What can I do to try to, help her have a worse day, but also capitalize when I do get the opportunities, and not, feel like I'm throwing away points or giving away points to a good player, because obviously you can't win if you're doing that. So, going into Wayne State, we're going to do the same thing. And I think looking at our singles lineup, we have talent. It's just talent that hasn't had a chance to build much confidence off of what they're doing, because they haven't had a lot of wins. So we need to, not focus on that so much, and look at it more as a process of learning, because we're not going to snap our fingers and have wins just because we're working harder. It's going to take some time. And I think just being patient with that process and not getting down about themselves just because they don't win. So
Speak to some of the more, I guess, inexperienced girls on your team that you're hoping to, have excel the rest of the season. You're hoping for these guys or girls to really shine and step up.
Mm-hmm. I think, when looking at the team we had last year to the team we had this year, people are playing in positions they're not used to playing in. And, kind of what I was saying before about the learning process is I think we knew going into it that this was going to take some time for them to develop, but a lot of it is mental. A lot of it is getting over the mental hump of saying, well, I don't have as much experience, or I'm going into this match against someone who's supposed to beat me, and just learning to be more of a fighter on the court and not giving in, because that's how you can sneak out some of those matches that you're the underdog in. And so we're going to try to, still work more on the mental aspect of it and getting them mentally prepared to go into those, so that if things aren't going well, it's not going to be something where, they feel like defeated in the middle of the match. So it's just, I think it really is just trying to build the mental, confidence and not allowing them to think I'm not supposed to win this match. So
Preview your next couple matches, things you're hoping to get accomplished, and things you're looking forward to seeing in your players.
Mm-hmm. Well, we go to Wayne State, then Findlay, and Wayne State just beat Grand Valley last Sunday, so that obviously tells us they're a tough team. And what I'll learn is at what positions we need to really focus on as far as where I think we will have the best chances, but also our doubles did not perform up to their potential against Grand Valley. So I think we had a nice turnaround win at one doubles, but I felt like they didn't beat us in most of those situations in doubles. I feel like we played to their strengths a little too much and didn't do some of the things we had worked on in practice. So I think getting them recommitted to those things and, along with getting mentally prepared for another battle is what we'll need to do with Wayne State. Findlay, historically, hasn't been as strong and tends to finish in the lower part of the rankings in the conference, but we're not going to take them lightly. I mean, we're going to go into that with the same mindset as any other match, wanting to win and wanting to execute the things that we've been practicing. So, we're obviously hoping to come out of that with at least one win, if not two. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see if we can do that.